The Extraordinary Life and Legacy of Oscar Wilde. Oscar Fingal, O'Flaherty. Wills Wilde, a name as flamboyant and unforgettable as the man himself. Known for his razor-sharp wit, brilliant plays, and tragic downfall, Oscar Wilde was a figure who captured the spirit of an age and left an indelible mark on literature and culture. But who was the man behind the words? Let's explore the extraordinary life of Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was born on October 16, 1854, in Dublin, Ireland, to a family as remarkable as he would become. His father, Sir William Wilde, was a celebrated surgeon and a noted antiquarian, while his mother, Jane Wilde, was a poet and fervent supporter of Irish nationalism. From a young age, Oscar was surrounded by intellect and creativity, setting the stage for his future genius. Wilde's brilliance shone early. He attended the prestigious Portora Royal School before moving on to Trinity College in Dublin, where he excelled in classics. His academic achievements earned him a scholarship to Magdalen College at Oxford, where he would truly come into his own. At Oxford, Wilde cultivated his trademark wit and flamboyant persona. He was influenced by the aesthetic movement, which championed the idea of art for art's sake, and he quickly became a leading advocate. Wilde's eccentric style, velvet jackets, flowing hair, and an air of decadence made him a campus sensation. His talent didn't go unnoticed. In 1878, he won the prestigious Newdigate Prize for his poem Ravenna, cementing his reputation as a rising star in the literary world. After graduating, Wilde moved to London, eager to make his mark. London in the late 19th century was a city of contrasts, a place of immense wealth and dire poverty, strict morality, and hidden vice. It was the perfect stage for Wilde, who quickly became a darling of high society. His sharp wit and dazzling conversation made him a sought-after guest at parties and salons. In 1882, Wilde embarked on a lecture tour of the United States, spreading the gospel of aestheticism. He charmed audiences with his humor and unconventional views, famously quipping at customs, "I have nothing to declare except my genius." His tour was a triumph, solidifying his reputation as a cultural icon. But Wilde wasn't content with being merely a socialite. He longed to create works that would endure. In the late 1880s, he published The Happy Prince and Other Tales, a collection of fairy tales that revealed his depth of feeling and moral imagination. The stories, poignant, whimsical, and profound, hinted at the complexity beneath his sparkling exterior. In 1890, Wilde published his only novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, a haunting exploration of vanity, decadence, and moral corruption. The book caused a sensation, with critics accusing Wilde of immorality. Wilde, ever the provocateur, responded, "There is no such thing as a moral or an immoral book." The 1890s were the height of Wilde's career. He turned his hand to theatre, producing a string of brilliant comedies, including Lady Windermere's Fan, An Ideal Husband, and his masterpiece, The Importance of Being Earnest. These plays, with their sparkling dialogue and sharp social commentary, remain some of the finest in the English language. But behind the glittering success lay personal turmoil. Wilde's relationship with Lord Alfred Douglas, a young poet known as Bosie, would prove both passionate and destructive. Their love defied the conventions of the time, and it brought Wilde into conflict with Bosie's father, the Marquis of Queensberry. In 1895, Wilde sued the Marquis for libel after being accused of posing as a sodomite. The trial backfired spectacularly, and Wilde's private life was laid bare. He was arrested and charged with gross indecency. The ensuing trials were a media sensation, and Wilde was ultimately convicted and sentenced to 2 years of hard labor. Prison was a harrowing experience for Wilde, both physically and emotionally. yet even in despair, his creativity endured. While incarcerated, he wrote De Profundis, a searing letter to Bosie that reflected on his suffering, love, and spiritual growth. Upon his release in 1897, Wilde was a broken man. He went into exile in France, adopting the name Sebastian Melmoth. In 1898, he published The Ballad of Reading Gaol, a powerful poem about the brutality of prison life and the fragility of human dignity. Oscar Wilde died on November 30th, 1900, at the age of 46 in a shabby Parisian hotel. His final years were marked by poverty and isolation, but his wit never left him. On his deathbed, he reportedly quipped, "My wallpaper and I are fighting a duel to the death. One of us has got to go." Today, Wilde is celebrated as one of the greatest writers of the Victorian era. His works continue to captivate audiences, and his life serves as a testament to the courage it takes to live authentically. In Wilde's own words, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all, at." Oscar Wilde was a genius, a rebel, a storyteller. His legacy reminds us that beauty, wit, and truth are timeless.